patch is kind of crazy. Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to talk about something I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already seen or heard about. It's Beerus being able to do stuff like this. Kind of crazy, I know. If you don't know, there's two different changes to the game that allowed Beerus to be able to do a quote-unquote safe DP into his supers. One is that he can use his level 3 in the air. He teleports to the ground and, like, I'm sure you already know, but ever since last patch, his super has been nearly unpunishable, nearly. But another is the change that allows you to do level 1 into level 3 when it's your last character and you're in limit break. This allows him to do other things like do his level 1, and since it's just a ball that stays on screen, you can actually get a mix afterwards. Very crazy. People are like, oh my god, that's crazy, he has safe DP. He has safe DP. Kind of. In this video, I just want to go over the different options that Beerus has now for doing a safe-ish DP into super, and I want to go over the options that you as the attacker, or defender of your own pressure, the options that you have as counterplay. I want to go over the options that the person blocking Beerus DP has as counterplay. Now, the way I see it, there are 3 different variations that Beerus can do to try to make a safe super. One of them is only in limit break. It's when he can do level 1 into level 3. That's option 1. Option 2 is this DP into instant level 3 super that he can do. But option 3 is actually delaying his level 3 super so it does not hit instantly. And there's a really important distinction there, but we'll get into that later. Now, the first one I want to talk about is the level 1 into level 3 when he's in limit break. This one is the easiest to understand the counterplay of. Okay, so first of all, if you ever reflect this DP, you're already trapped. There's nothing you can do against level 1 into level 3. You do that, you're doomed. But there is always going to be a big enough gap when Beerus does this DP into level 1 super for you to be able to vanish. So as long as you have 1 bar, you're always going to be able to get out of this. That might not be satisfying to you because you're like, oh, I was pressuring Beerus and now, like, he takes a vanish worth of damage, but I was pressuring him. And while this is a lot different if you're in sparking, because obviously you'll get a full combo off of empty vanish, it is true that this is just a good way of getting out of pressure, basically with no risk, and it doesn't even use up that much of Beerus's resource, because as long as he's doing the DP into level 1, he's not gonna have to spend 4 whole bars off a reversal option, so you guys are actually spending the same amount of meter. Now, while this is the case, obviously he can't do this forever. Like, if he doesn't have 4 whole bars, then this option doesn't work anymore. Now, there is some counterplay to this, obviously. Any character that has a DP is going to be able to counter this easily, right? Not only that, but most level 3s in the game are going to be able to beat this straight out. But besides just level 3s, because you have enough time to vanish this, you will also always have enough time to use a character-specific 4-frame reversal option. Some characters have these and they'll be immune to everything, including supers. So UI Goku is an example of a character who not only doesn't need to spend a full bar of meter, but actually does get a punish on Beerus of a full combo. Likewise, Gogeta 4 is another character that, as you guys know, has a 4-frame reversal options that is immune to supers. And it doesn't even have to be an attack. Some characters have 4 frames that will just move them out of the way. And you can use this to get a punish. Since Goku just got his Dragon Fist buffed to be a 4-frame invincible option, he can counter this too. Same thing with Cell, because his perfect attack is now frame 4 invincible, so he can counter this too. But I will say, this is probably the best variation for Beerus. And for certain characters, if you don't have at least a bar and he does this, there's basically nothing you can do about it. He's gonna do his DP into level 1, into his level 3, and you just have to hold the mix. And it's really crazy because you can't even like space around his DP because, you know, it hits everywhere and he teleports behind you anywhere on the screen. So this is the most dangerous version, only usable when you are in limit break and you have at least 4 bars. So it's also the most situational one, and it requires your opponent not to have any bar to be able to counter vanish you. But in situations, it will absolutely work. The other two are a little more tricky though. First of all, let me just point out the big distinction between doing instant level 3 and doing delayed level 3. So let me just show you guys. If you just do your level 3 instantly, it won't hit because your opponent will still be in block stun from the actual DP. So it can be hard to visually recognize the difference, but if you can tell and you ever see your opponent just instantly does DP into level 3, don't worry about trying to dodge it or anything, it's not gonna hit you. But if your opponent waits a second, then you're gonna be out of hit stun and you're gonna be able to get hit by their level 3 super. So why would you ever, as Beerus, do an instant level 3 super? That seems like it doesn't make sense. Well, if I am the attacker and I see that Beerus is trying to DP into his level 3, if I see that and then just reflect his DP, he no longer is able to wait until he cancels it. He would only be able to cancel it instantly. Okay, so from the perspective of the person pressuring Beerus, so you're saying I should always reflect DP if I can. No, I'm not saying that either, because if you start reflecting his DP, then if he does an instant level 3 super, he actually will hit you. There are two different timings for reflecting Beerus reversal DP. One comes from preemptively reflecting before the DP even starts. If you do this, you're still not going to be hit by the super. But if instead you reflect after you get hit by the second key blast, which you would do if you wanted to stop Beerus from doing delayed level 3 super, you will actually get hit by instant level 3 super. Such a weird guessing game, I know guys. Don't ask me, I'm just the messenger telling you how this stuff works. But don't lose hope guys, because just because Beerus can successfully pull off the DP into level 3 super does not mean he's safe. Because again, Beerus level 3 super is punishable by a lot of characters. There is an easy way for some characters to punish it, and that's coming from using an air normal. But not every character has an air normal that they can use instantly when they rise off the ground that'll hit Beerus. And I talked about this in my other video where I actually showed how to punish Beerus level 3 super. But there's another option that a lot more characters can do, but it is extremely difficult. And it has to do with canceling your jump squat before you go into the air into an actual command move. Because even before you're in the air, your jump squat is already invincible to grabs, and you can cancel your jump squat into actual moves. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Base Goku is a character who does not have a move that will reach Beerus while he's rising, and doing something like his jumping ki blast is too slow, it won't work. Now, his lariat thing, 236L, is pretty fast, but even if you were to try to tiger knee this, it would still be too slow because you're having too much extra time from being in jump squat and then leaving the ground. If you just cancel the actual jump squat into the move, it's the same input as a tiger knee. You're just doing the move even before you leave the ground. So it's pressing the button even faster. If you were to do that, then you actually can get a punish off of Beerus for doing this. This is really hard timing. It's not something you could just do through osmosis just watching me. You'd have to practice it, like actually practice it, but you can get the timing down. And if you do, this will basically never be a problem for you if you have a specific character where this is their only option. But I implore you guys to try to find your character specific options because there are a lot of options that characters can use. Super Saiyan Goku, for example, is one of the characters who can't hit Beerus on the way up with like an air normal, but he has a super fast move in his Tatsu legs, whatever it's called. And if you do this Tiger Kneed, you'll actually be able to get a combo off of it. But if you Tiger Knee this in response, you can actually hit Beerus out of his level 3 super. I insist you guys try to find your character specific options because there are a lot of them, but some of them are not like intuitive, so you really just have to experiment if you want to be able to punish this consistently. Also, in my other video, I talked about all the different characters that can do air jab against Beerus level 3 super, but I missed Cell, So in closing, the most dangerous version of these, in my opinion, is Limit Break. Beerus does his DP into level 1 super, into level 3 super. That's the most dangerous because it is the hardest to punish, and when Beerus does it, in order to use counterplay, Beerus will only have to use 1 bar, because after he uses the 1 bar successfully into his level 3, he's already safe. There's nothing you can do about it. As far as DP straight into level 3 super, that is punishable for a lot more of the cast consistently. But I really want to stress that you guys have to just experiment with your own characters. If I haven't listed anything in this video, just experiment. There's bound to be something. There are very few characters that I think will have 0 options against this, but I'm sure some exist. So yeah, is DP into supers viable for Beerus? It is extremely viable if your opponent doesn't know the counterplay. But if they do know the counterplay, then it becomes situationally viable. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of the video. Tell me how much you hate this patch and how stupid you think it is, how your character didn't get buffed. Okay, video's over. Hey, guys, do you know the song that goes like this? Bum 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 ba 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 da ba ba. What song is that?